Today I would like to explain the most important vocabulary to improve all areas of your English. So welcome back to Smile English Learn. Of course, I'm Zeeshan. So get let's started. That class 2 is vocabulary from Dan News. That first word is that sovereign. Sovereign is that adjective having supreme power and authorities. That sovereign state of Pakistan has its own government and law. Bedwilling is that verb. Bedwilling is that verb that causing trouble or annoyance. The bedwilling issues of Kashmir has been a source of tension between India and Pakistan. Self-determination. Self-determination is a noun, the right of people to decide their own government, laws and institutions. The people of Kashmir have been denied their rights to self-determination for decades. Tightened is made something more secure or restricted. The part of speech is verb that government tightened security measures at the border. Grip over is meaning control or influence over something or someone. That part of speech is noun phrase. The company tightened its grip over the market by acquiring its competitors. Dispute. Dispute is that disagreement or argument between two or more parties. Part of speech is noun. The dispute between the two countries over the territory has been ongoing for years. Territory remains that an area of land and it is still controlled or claimed by a particular group or country. That part of speech is noun phrase that the territory remains a point of contentions between the two countries. Disputed is meaning argued or debated about, not agreed upon. Part of speech is adjective. The disputed territory has been a source of tension between the two countries. No amount of is regardless of how much or how tight or little. The part of speech is admetic expressions. No amount of money can compensate for the loss of a loved one. Thickering is important meanings making small adjustments or repair to something. Part of speech is verb that mechanics spend hours tinkering with the engines trying to fix the problem. Attempts to is efforts or tries to do something. Part of speech is verb phrase. The team made several attempts to secure a goal but were unsuccessful. Occupied is controlled or taken over by a military force or a dominant group. That part of speech is a verb. That city has been occupied the enemy force for months. Demography by is the study of characteristics of a population such as age, sex, and income. The part of speech is a noun phrase. The researcher analyzed the demography by age and income to understand the population of needs. Transformed is changed completely or radically. That part of speech is a verb. That city was transformed into a thriving metropolis after years of redevelopment. Proverbial is well known or famous, often due to being frequently cited or referenced. Part of speech is adjective. The proverbial phrase "an apple they keeps the doctor away" is common saying. Reality of is actual state or situation or something that part of speeches don't face. The reality of the situation was much harsher and accepted than accepted. Hidden is not visible or apparent, cancelled or secret. Part of speech is adjective. The hidden message in the painting was only discovered after years of study. Has long been raising. The present perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action that started in the past and continues up to the present moment. In this case, the phrase has long been rising implies that the issues of concern has been ongoing for a long time and is still being raised or discussed. Pointed out is drew attention to something, often to criticize or correct it. Part of speech a verb phrase. The editor pointed out several discrepancies in the company financial reports. Excess is extreme or unreasonable amount of something, often implying waste of abuse. Part of speech is noun. The company excesses in spending lead to financial difficulties. Vulnerable is susceptible to harm, injury, or exploitations. That adjective. The vulnerable populations of refugees was in need of protections and aid. Violence is behavior or actions that cause harm or injury to others. Part of speech is noun. The violence in the city has increased in recent months. Assault is a physical attack or violent act against someone. Part of speech is noun. The victim reported an assault by unknown assailtant. Threat of is warning or indication of potential harm or danger. Noun phrase the threat of terrorism has led to increased security measures. Fabricated is made up or invented, often decisive or manipulated. Part of speech is a verb that politician was accused of fabricating evidence to support his claim. Remained is stayed or continue to be a political state or situations. That verb. The company remained committed to its mission despite the challenges. Detentions, the act of keeping someone in a place especially in prison without allowing them to leave. Part of speech is a noun. The government detention of opposition leaders have been widely criticized. Amnesty International, a global human rights organization that advocates for justice and freedom. Proper noun. Amnesty International often reports on violations of human rights across the world. Criticize is to express disapprovals, to point out fault. The part of speech is verb. The journalist criticized the government handling of the crisis. Arbitrary is based on random choice or personal whim rather than any reason or system. Adjective. The manager's arbitrary decision to change the schedules upset many employees. Detention is the act of keeping someone in official custody, especially for political or legal reason. What a speech is noun. The protester faced detentions for demonstrating against the new law. Stringent is strict, precise, or severe. What a speech adjective. The company has implemented stringent rules to ensure workplace safety. Anti-terror laws, legal measures designed to combat terrorism. Noun phrase. The government introduced new anti-terror laws to prevent future attacks. Repressions. Repression is the act of subduing someone or something by force. Is noun. The regime repressions of dissent lead to widespread protester. Escalated is increase the intensity, extent, or seriousness. Part of speech is verb. The conflict escalated after the peace talk failed. Scrapped. To cancel, abandon, to get rid of something. Part of speech is verb. The government scrapped the old tax system, introduced a new one. Occupied region, a territory under the control of foreign military forces. Noun phrase. The peace treaty aimed to resolve dispute over the occupied region. Scrapped is to cancel, abandon, to get rid of some things. Verb. The government scrapped the old tax system, introduced a new one. Glimpse is a brief or quick look at something. Noun or verb. I caught a glimpse of the sunset through the window. Ugly is unpleasant in appearance or morally offensive. Water speed adjective. The old building looked ugly after years of neglect. Principled is adjective based on moral rules and standards. I principled leaders always makes ethical decision. Peaceful is adjective free from violence or conflict. They held a peaceful protest against the laws. Solution a answer or problem. The engineer found a solution to technical issues. Dispute is a noun, a disagreement or argument. The land dispute between the two countries lasted for years. Plebiscites, a direct vote by the people on an important issues. The government announced a plebiscite to independence. Remains is a verb that continues to be. The castle remains a popular tourism destination. UN Security Council is a proper noun, a principal body of the United Nations responsible for maintaining international peace. The UN Security Council discussed the ongoing conflict. Called for is a phrasal verb that requests or demand. The workers called for higher wages during the strikes. World Body is international organizations. The World Body passed a resolution on climate change. Reform. Reform is to confirm or declare again one with one emphasizes our convictions. Part of speech is verb. The company reformed its commitment to sustainability. Solidarity is unity or mutual support among individuals or groups, especially in political or social contexts. The part of speech is noun. The workers showed solidarity by going on strike together. Resolve to find a solution or answer to a problems. Part of speech is verb. The team worked together to resolve the conflicts. So please subscribe these channels and share these videos, like and new videos. So welcome. So thank you very much.